Right, time we move forward. Ikuzo! The library defied the common sense of the human world. The city of books. The word city was no exaggeration, and it was filled with the green glowing eyes of Castell's countless cat familiars. Trying to count them would be almost as crazy as counting all the fish in the ocean. They formed schools that swam all over the place, on the lookout for any fools who might have miraculously have managed to slip in and disturb their master's party. If Balor's group was found, the cats would report it instantly. They would probably form a pack, open their large mouths, and swallow them in a single gulp. There would be no fight. In this place, Balor's party would be swallowed like tiny fishes if they were discovered. The warships surrounding the Golden Land were all more than 100 strong. Each of them had dozens of cannons pointing at the door to the Golden Land. The ghosts that packed the decks of the ships numbered in tens of thousands. All blasting shipwrecked by Elstorm, metal as fuck. Each one of them carried anti-magic toxin in their fangs, potent enough to completely deny each of the game board pieces one by one. This time, they would chew apart and eat away everything. The crowd of goats unleashed their rotten breath and dangling drool. At that time, Ariakey, who wanted to avoid trouble and hoped Battle would be able to convince Lambdadelta to surrender peacefully, was sitting alone, calmly enjoying the tea Noby had poured for her. Of course, even Ariakey wasn't planning to give them unlimited time. In her mind, she had already decided to allow them 3 yawns before stepping in.
意外に悪くないものですね。あのベアとが敗北主義者と罵られながらみんなを説得してるのを眺めるのも。
あの短気だったお嬢様がよくぞここまで大人になられたものです。
何がおかしいの？
いいえ、失礼いたしました。次の紅茶はいかがです？古今東西あらゆる名茶をどうかごゆっくりお楽しみくださいませ。
ラムダのベアト側について徹底抗戦。仲間を集めて。まさか冗談でしょ？
The messenger cat shook its head, then continued to dispassionately meow its report.
ラムダだってそこまでバカじゃない。アウアウを敵に回すような真似をすればどういうことになるかわからない子じゃないはずよ。
Even as she said this, Mengastel was chewing away at her thumbnail.
あの子、ああ見えて妙な友人が多いのよ。それもとびきりの化け物で物好きな連中がね。それでも元老院に立てつく側につくなんて。
Christ. Mengastel is not pleased with this whatsoever. Wow. It was possible. She could think of many monsters among Lambdadelta's friends who would love to see a losing side get support and make a comeback victory. Before she realized it, the finger Mengastel was biting was covered with sweat.
やりかねない。あの子、たまに本当にバカだから。電話よ、早く！
The cat leapt away, then flew back with a phone and receiver.
あの子の友人たちに電話するわ。バカなゲームに関わらないようにって警告しなくちゃ。電話番号。なんで私って番号登録してないのよ。
Is it because you are using a rotary phone?
ええ、そうよね。私、友達ゼロだもんね。電話のお作法って最初はもしもしでよかったんだったかしら？
The golden key was being kept in a room inside the City of Books. However, perhaps room wasn't a fitting word to use. It was large enough that you could probably fit two domed baseball stadiums in it, one atop the other. Even so, in this city, these were called rooms. Floating in the center of this vast room were several sacred magic circles. Wrapped around by these magic circles was Angie's gold key. Surrounding this were countless emerald green stars, which looked like a slowly revolving planetarium. Those eyes are as numerous as the stars, were all glaring in the same direction.
いやーね、怖い目をして。私は味方でしょ？忘れた？
When the cats kitty-paddled towards Eva, knowing that no one was allowed to enter this room.
ベルンカステル教よりこの鍵の警護を仰せつかったわ。だからここは私に任せて、あんたたちはどっかに行っちゃってちょうだいな。
After looking at each other with suspicious eyes, the clans glared at Eva again, as though saying that they hadn't heard any such order.
ところで、猫って体柔らかいのよね。じゃあ、噛めるわよね。
Eva lifted up her golden staff, and a circular pattern of red lines covered the floor and ceiling of the vast room. Heck yeah! You guys are screwed. The reaction from the cats was lightning fast. They realized instantly that this was hostile behavior. The entire emerald green constellation writhed and became a single mess of deep-sea fish, which charged at Eva with its massive mouth open wide. Oh! However, at the same time, the red lines, the massive spiderwebs, on the floor and ceiling came crashing together and crushed the fish, twisted it, spun it around and round, and compressed it to the size of a small ball. Christ. If you were to ask me what would be the most disgusting yarn bowl made for cats, it would be one made of cat flesh and web. Then, the bowl-shaped thing burst open, leaving nothing left. It all happened in an instant.
へそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
Cringe. The witch hunters were holding a convention in the event hall. After all, once Fushirome and Eva's diary was opened, the endless cat box would be lost, along with the countless imagined stories that had entertained them for so long. So, this final convention was a time for them to air their best theories one last time. The cat box was soon to be opened, and while that did give them a slightly lonely feeling, they couldn't contain their excitement as intellectual rapists, not when they knew that the Rokimjima mystery was finally going to be solved once and for all. There was a girl out there who was going to be hurt by the opening of that box. However, their jaws and fangs couldn't care less. The witch-hunting goat nobles kept licking their lips, wanted to chew apart the guts of Beatrice's cat box as soon as they could. Seated upon a grand throne the size of a pillar, Federer all listened in on this nonsense being spewed from the mouths of the goat nobles. A black cat wearing a cape suddenly appeared and whispered something into Federer's ear.
いいや、よい。すべて私の筋書き通りに進んでいる。巫女の耳には入れずともよい。
The cat bowed humbly and vanished. Federin raised her wine glass high, and laughed as she looked through it to the light of the chandelier, which was as beautiful and majestic as the moon.
これで素晴らしき朗読への恩には十分であろう、人の子よ。はて、物語を紡いでいるのは誰なのか。私がそなたに、それともそなたが私になのか。これをどう思う？
As Balor's group moved forward, darting from bookshelf to bookshelf while avoiding the eyes of the cats, they found something strange. Written with a faintly glowing red substance was a letter and an arrow. Oh. That's what it looked like to them.
鍵を意味してると思うか？
私たちが近づいたらこの文字が浮かび上がった。これは私たちに向けてのメッセージよ。ここに私たち以外で味方をしてくれる誰かがいるってこと。
いるのかな、俺たちに味方なんて。
Angie traced the red arrow with her finger. It was written with very faint, thin strings that had been twisted together. Sticky red strings that, when touched, melted like cotton candy and clung to the fingers.
味方よ。私の一番の味方よ。どうして保証できんのよ。
いや、俺にも分かった。ラムダ、これを書いたやつは信用できる。
I agree.
多分安全に鍵のありかへたどり着けるよ。誘導し。
いいのね。じゃあ行きましょう。あまりもたもたしていられない。ありがとう、お母さん。
In the art room, the argument over whether they should surrender or fight continued, without signs of stopping. Every now and then, a small fight would break out, which fortunately ended up delaying Erika's third yawn. However, they didn't know how long they would have to continue this fake fight. Keeping this high level of tension going was physically stressful. The instant they tired out and the tension faded, Erika would probably demand a verdict. They had to constantly appear to be trapped and agitated. It was a battle of wariness and tension. This was their fight. Erika waited patiently. Now that she had tired of tea, she was watching Ronoe perform some magic tricks, and seemed to be quite enjoying herself. Even Ronoe, who was usually aloof from the world, was fighting. If Erika got bored and lost her patience with them, an all-out attack would probably begin at once. Even he was putting everything he had into the fight to buy time for Balor's group. As the fiercest leader in the argument, Battle wore out the quickest. Just a little bit more. She breathed heavily, and her face was so pale, it seemed she might faint at any moment.
ベアト、しっかり。そのテンションを続けてたら体力が続かないわ。
急に泣き出したふりをしてしばらく休んで。その間を私たちがつなぐわ。まだ大丈夫であると。やるぞ。もう一度大きく騒ごうではないか。行くぞ。さあ誰から行く？一番槍の欲しいものは。
ではゴーダ、参ります。ここは戦うべきです。戦わずして敗北を受け入れることなど言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。
ちょっと待ってください。
Ah, darn. I knew it. Goda did an oopsie there. Erika suddenly arose from her chair. Ronoe tried to coax her back into her seat, but Erika's attention was completely focused on those arguing under the arbor.
私は探偵です。聞いたことは録音するかのように記憶できます。
No. I don't think that you really need to be a great detective to spot the mistake anyway. I mean, it's not rocket science.
それは無論知っているとも。そなたは優秀な探偵でもあるからな。
あんたに興味ありません。ゴーダさん、私の質問に答えてください。
はい。私めが何かご無礼をいたしましたでしょうか。
ちょっとお待ちください。戦いを望まぬ者がいることもお忘れなく。私は降参が良いかと思います。私がここに訪れて一番最初に聞いたあなたの発言です。ですが今、あなたはこうおっしゃいました。ここは戦うべきです。戦わずして敗北を受け入れることなど言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。そう言いました。
いや、そんなことも申し上げたでしょうか。
議論の中で意見が変わることも時にあるかと思います。
そうですとも。他の皆さんも先ほどからどちらがいいか迷っておりまして、時に意見を変えられることも。
いいえ、あなたたちの議論は一貫して誰も意見を変えていません。たった今、唐突にゴーダさんだけがその主張を逆転させました。しかもゴーダさんに対する他の人間からの発言を振り返っても、彼が主張を逆転させるに足るものがあったとは思えません。
An uncomfortable, damp wind blew by. Everyone was silent, frozen as though time had stopped. In that silence, Erika continued with a blank expression.
以上から導き出される推理は2つです。1つは、ゴーダさんにもともと意見はなく、その場の雰囲気で適当なことを言ういい加減な人間であること。もう1つは、ゴーダさんに限らず、そもそも誰も意見などなく、議論そのものがあなたたちの目的であるというものです。
You know, I was gonna bring up the first option like myself. I mean, look at Goda. He himself is probably like the most comic relief in the entire Ushiromiya family. Some would argue that he is not the smartest cookie. So, you can totally have this setting where Goda just says one thing at the beginning, but now just says the complete opposite, trying to make us think that he has always been the brave one, even though someone else can totally come in to say, no, that is completely the opposite of what you said before. Added with a goofy sound effect to drive even more the comedic situation. Like this. Or maybe even this. Something like that.
それは考えすぎではないか。わらわたちは必死に今後の運命を議論している。時に普段は考えられぬ心変わりがあってもおかしくはない。
意味もなく議論を延長することに意味があるとすれば、時間を稼ぐこと。あなたたちは時間を稼ぐと何が有利になるのです？ラムダデルタ教の援軍がやってくるからですか？それも違います。なぜならあなたたちは先ほどから時折ラムダデルタ教やバトラに話しかけているのですが、それに対する返事が一度たりとも私の耳に聞こえません。以上すべてから考えて、 導き出される推理は一つです。
That Lady Lambdadelta and Better are not here now, and that these people have won Lambdadelta's assistance. Lady Lambdadelta and Better are probably planning to sneak into the city of Brooks. In which case, their goal is probably to steal back the golden key and Angie. And your plan was to act as bait and buy time until their mission was complete.
ただゴーダさんがセリフを言い間違えるだけで、フルドエリカにはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがです？
You know, Erica, I wouldn't really be proud of that particular one. Like, I honestly thought that you would have figured this out like back when Beatrice was telling you the situation. I was surprised that you even waited to begin with. In retrospect, you are right. You and Beatrice are horrible actors, in the end. I mean, you even winked at the camera. Like a goddamn idiot. Besides, I knew well before. I just wanted to see you all monkey around and entertain me. That is completely the opposite of what was understood.
皆様方。
With a blank yet ruthless expression, Erika spoke these words and returned to her seat. Everyone else was frozen, unable to move. No one spoke. However, time was moving. As evidence, a bead of sweat dripped down someone's cheek, fell, and hit the table with a tiny yet audible splat. Oh! Alright. Enough of this crap! Let's fight already! Then, frozen time shattered. And in the same instant, the white chair Erika had been sitting in broke apart. The stakes of the seven sisters of purgatory and the high-velocity rounds from the Chister sisters had obliterated the chair at exactly the same time. And a few moments after that, the Erika sitting in that chair faded and vanished.
早い、殺せ！
In an instant, Erika had moved to a spot behind the chair. Yeah, finally. Let's just get this started already. Come over here, you rat! Her expression remained as black as it had been. However, there was now something in her hand that wasn't there before. As the seven lightning strikes of the seven sisters had raced at her once more, she baited all of them away with her scythe.
とんだ茶番でした。でも紅茶は美味しかったですね。ごちそうさまです。では皆さんの意見は最初から統一されているようですし、改めましてお返事をお伺いしましょう。
Erika lifted her left hand, the one that wasn't holding the scythe.
よかろうぞ。わらわが答えよう。ここはわらわの我らの黄金鏡。土足で踏み入るならば相応の歓迎をしようぞ。
Yes. And you know damn well that I still stand by what I said. The family and the fantasy creatures will no longer suffer. We believe in Angie. So you better show a good fight here, Erika.
つまりだ。上品に一言で言うとな。
全訪問攻撃準備目標黄金鏡。
味噌汁で顔洗って出直してきやがれ。打ちやれ。
Fuck you, Erika!
そう、ありがとう。それじゃまたにゃー。
Then Hassel set down the receiver and crossed out yet another name on the list of Lambdadelta's notable friends. Something was wrong. No one she called had heard anything from Lambdadelta. And they weren't just playing dumb. They really knew nothing about the strange ruckus Lambdadelta was trying to stir up. Even Bercastel was starting to suspect that something was fishy. Then, a black cat leapt in and meowed a frantic report.
黄金鏡にラムダとバトラがいない。
She tore the phone receiver from its stand. The number she dialed was short. It was probably an internal line. However, after listening to it ring several times, she slammed the receiver down again, finally managing to break the phone.
手の空いている猫をすべて集めなさい。大至急。鍵の警護にやった猫たちが誰も応答しない。ラムダ
Overwhelmed with emotion, Mercastel kicked the table over. Lamdog? That must be her rap name. Yeah, Lambda would be the type to do rap, I guess. Lamdog. Then the room finally grew bright. It was like green sunlight. A bright green light waved about, giving the illusion that a green sun was rising and lighting the room up. It was a sign that Bercastel's army had been given an emergency sum. Lambdog.
さあおいで、子猫たち。魔女狩りの時間よ。あの子はキャンディーの匂いがするからね。すぐに見つけられるわ。最初に見つけた猫には人の姿と魔女の称号をあげるわ。
Was now an emerald green nebula that let a roar of delight that shook the bookshelf cliff.
何かが追ってくるわ。
なんだあれは。緑の太陽。
If only it was a giant green compito candy, but that's more than likely not it.
隠れて。バレたのよ。
The three of them frantically hid behind the bookshelf. The room with the key in it was straight ahead. They could see something glowing faintly in the darkness of that room. It was a glow different from anything else they had seen so far in the city. The color it glowed was gold. They had almost reached the golden key. However, if they went towards it, Mikasa would be right behind them, along with her vast swarm of familiars. In other words, they were trapped in a dead end. They had already knew that the emerald green color came from the eyes of the familiars. However, it was almost beyond comprehension that this undulating green sun could be the same thing. And they could do nothing except stare in wide-eyed shock. As the countless cats approached, they passed through the ravine of bookshelves from the very top to the very bottom, painstakingly checking the gaps between each book. However, even this mind-numbingly huge task was accomplished swiftly, thanks to a sheer number of familiars. With the speed of a gust of wind, they carefully checked every nook and cranny. There was no way to hide from this green sun. It would have been as foolish as trying to hide from water on a sinking ship.
やり過ごせるの？
無理だ。あれじゃどこに隠れても見つかれ。
Bell was just about to leap out from the shadows. Lambdadelta grabbed him by the collar an instant before.
戦う気？
違う。ここに留まっても見つかるだけだ。なら前へ進むしかない。一刻も早く鍵にたどり着くんだ。
鍵を守る猫がいないわけないでしょ。私たちは挟み撃ちにされたのよ。私はエヴァおばさんを信じる。おばさんが私たちをここまで導いてくれた。
Yeah, I think running is like the best option here. It is safer than here anyway, since being found is inevitable. So let's go!
きっとおばさんは見張りの猫たちもやっつけてくれているはずよ。
俺も同感だ。ここにいて見つかるくらいなら 一刻も早くあそこにたどり着いて鍵を取り返そう。鍵さえ取り返せればもう誰もあの本を開くことはできない。
あそこにたどり着いて鍵を手に入れて、それであそこ袋小路よ。逃げ場ないのよ、分かってる？
それは分かってるけど。
鍵は切り札になる。ベルンカステルにだって鍵は重要なんだ。一か八かだ。鍵をカードに何かの交渉ができるかもしれない。
あのベルに交渉？あんた正気じゃないわ。
だがここに隠れてても絶対に見つかる。なら100億の中の一つの確率だとしても俺はそれにかけるぜ。鍵を手に入れ、それを切り札に奴となんとか立ち回るんだ。
奇跡の魔女を相手にあんたは奇跡を祈るわけ？
Yes. Screw Bancast though. We can make our own damn miracle. Let's go already.
天文学的数字の中に1を拾う。それが後ろ宮家の魔法ってやつだぜ。
私、目がいいから教えてあげる。あの黄金の鍵を取り囲んでる魔法陣、わかる？あれは簡単だけどなかなか堅牢な結界よ。触れば壊せる簡単な結界だけれど、でもね、どんな大魔女でも人間風情でも解くのにかっきり1時間をかけるというたちの悪い封印なのよ。
1 hour it is then.
式典の進行上まだ1時間前にはなってない。つまり私たちは1時間稼がなきゃ鍵に触れることさえできないのよ。
エヴァおばさんはきっと見張りの猫たちをやっつけた時魔法陣も壊してくれたに違いないわ。1時間はかからないはず。
見る限りまだ魔法陣は健在ね。残念ながらエヴァがそうしてくれたとしてもそれは1時間以内の話みたいよ。
1時間なんてちょろいもんだぜ。少なくともそれだけ粘れば手に入るという明白なゴールがある。
そうね、いいじゃない、1時間の鬼ごっこ。私こわもてに追いかけ回されるのには慣れてるの。
あんたたち札付きのパー揃いね。ベルンとあの数の猫を相手に本気で鬼ごっこをさせてもらえると？
確率が 1% でもあるなら
俺たちが絶対にそれを掴み取ってやる。
There was an immense difference in enthusiasm between Lambdadelta and its siblings, who had nothing left to lose. However, this was by no means cowardice on Lambdadelta's part. She was a great witch of the Senate. If she surrendered, she wouldn't be able to escape severe punishment, but she would be forgiven after a few hundred years. She had been thrown into a stormy sea while clutching a boy. She had been thrown into a stormy sea while clutching a boy that could save only her. How could she possibly decide to throw that boy away? There was no way a person with a life to lose could be as determined as those who were already gambling everything. No one could blame her.
ああ、もう本当にバカだわ、あんたたちは。仕方ないわね。1% よりもうちょっと確率が高くなる作戦を教えてあげるわ。ズバリ何だと思う？
The two siblings looked at each other. However, they both thought that any plan would be worth listening to, even if it only would raise their chances by 0.00001%.
生贄よ。ベルンは猫だから逃げる獲物は追うけれど逃げない獲物は殺す。それもネチネチといたぶってね。
最悪ね。
しかしそれが本当ならかけ
生贄を一人じゃんけんで選びましょう。
Uh-oh.
負けた子はベルンをたっぷり挑発して笑わせて殺されて1分1秒でも時間を稼ぐ。それでいいわね。
じゃんけんはいらない。俺がやる。エンジェとラムダは鍵の部屋へ行ってくれ。
ダメよお兄ちゃん、私がやるわ。
元はといえばこれは私の責任。ベルンカステルの言葉に耳を貸し心を許した私の責任なのよ。だからあいつに一言くらい言ってやりたいのよ。
Both Bell and Angie decide to be the sacrifice and wouldn't listen to the other.
じゃんけんじゃないと決まらないでしょ。さっさと決めないとこの作戦も使えなくなるわよ。もうじき連中がやってくるわ。
分かった。俺かエンジェが生贄をやる。ラムダデルタは残った方を連れて鍵を奪ったら黄金鏡に連れ帰ってやってくれ。
譲らないわよお兄ちゃん。
ふざけやがって。たまには兄らしいことをさせやがれ。
時間ないわよ。じゃんけん一発勝負。私超パーだからそれにちなんで最初はパーからね。いい？二人とも。
いいわ。
エンジェ恨みっこなしだぜ。
せーの、最初はパー。
Alright, let's see. It really was a stupid childish game of rock, paper, scissors. Despite promising to start with paper, they threw different signs to catch each other off guard. Both Bell and Angie chose rock. And yet, it wasn't a tie. Because in addition to those two rocks, there was one person who chose scissors. Ah, darn it. She knew. She knew that Bella and Angie wanted to lose against Lambda's Super Paper, so she chose Super Scissors to be the loser. After staring stupidly at their fists and those scissors, they looked at her.
ちゃあ、最初はパーだからチョキ出して一人勝ちしてやろうって思ったのに、やっぱりパーはパー出してなきゃダメね。
There'd be no reason for Lambdadelta to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Bella and Angie, each trying to lose, chose wrong. Lambdadelta alone chose scissors.
あんたわざとチョキを。
お前に死なれたら俺たちは黄金鏡に帰れないだろうが、こんなの無効だ。
ほら、これで大丈夫でしょ。
Lambdadelta made a clenched fist. A fragment glowing pale blue appeared there, and she gave it to the pair of them. Bella had seen one of these before. It was a magic fragment, like the one Ariakey had used before Deciphering, which would allow one to cross the sea of fragments.
それがあれば二人とも黄金鏡に帰れるわ。それにこれが一番の人選なのよ。あんたたちじゃベルンを相手に数秒と持たないだろうし、私なら1時間どころかひょっとしたら勝っちゃうかもね。あの子には借りがあるし、今度は私の勝ちってことにしてイーブンにしないと。アウェイは辛いわね。
Lambdadelta pretended to complain as she stood up straight.
じゃあ行ってくるわ。私目立ちたがり屋だからやっぱ感激者は無理だったわ。ごめんね、出番を奪っちゃって。あんたたちのゲーム最後まで感激できないのは残念だけど、もう筋書きは教えてもらえたから見る必要もないわ。
ラムダ。
It is nice, no, staying behind to protect Bella and Angie. I believe in you. But, you know, don't get any crazy ideas about you not being with us anymore. Don't get comfortable with the idea of being a sacrifice and being punished for hundreds of years for the sake of everyone and, you know, gaining popularity boost in the process. You will be part of the happy ending too, Lambda. Then, with a broader smile and a wink.
あんたたちのハッピーエンド、もう先が読めちゃったから見なくても分かっちゃうわ。じゃあね、また会いましょうね。あんたたちのハッピーエンドのクレジットロールでね。
待って。
Lambdadelta snapped her fingers. and the two of them turned into confeito candies. She picked them up, took aim at the glint of the golden key, and flicked them away. That way, they should be able to reach the key without Bencastello noticing. Damn. What a terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing a rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you two. And then, Lambdadelta's body was lit up by an emerald green light. When she turned around, the cat's eyes and Lambdadelta's met. Lambdadelta grinned and waved. There was a thunderous boom and several bright flashes. Whoa! Chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Bencastello and her pack of familiars in an instant. Candies flying everywhere! They were multicolored fireworks, or rather, multicolored candy that burst with a flash and scattered everywhere. Countless stick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction, and each one of those split and exploded into hundreds of candies, each of which exploded again into a cloud of confeito. However, these sweets weren't sweet. Confeito was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into little bits. Oh! Emerald green glints that were scattered everywhere sparkled like the night sky, and among them danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they'd go well on a Christmas tree. It was flashy, beautiful, and cute, and perfectly fitting for the grand entrance of the Great Witch, Lady Lambdadelta. Jesus.
愛してるわベル。愛をささやくなら二人きりの方が素敵でしょ。
それはあんたの両手両足を脱いだ後にゆっくりと聞かせてちょうだい。
With a jerk of her chin, then ordered her familiars to attack. Alright, do your best, Lambda.
私の愛しい愛しいたった一人の友人よ。両腕の肘から先、両足の膝より先、自由に食いちぎって構わないわ。それ以外に傷一つ許さないわよ。
The fuck? Oh! The crowd of cats undulated again, were formed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. Oh! Fuck my biscuits. Okay, something tells me this is gonna be quite crazy. Shaped like an impossibly vast whale. Lambda! Create a giant cookie monster! We need a hero. And that hero is you, Lambdadelta. However, would it look like a whale from Lambda's perspective? She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up everything.
素敵。私をベルンの愛で飲み込んでくれるのね。
愛してるわ、ラムダ。あんたの手足をもいだら、お尻から鉄串で貫いて、私のベッドに飾ってあげる。そして毎朝目覚めのキスを、そして毎夜お休みのキスをしてあげるわ。
本当に素敵。じゃあ私もあなたを愛で包んであげる。
What? God damn it, Lambda. You and your obsession for Bencastello and all that lust that you have in you. Okay, However, Lambdadelta's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, writhing Leviathan in a single bite. Okay, well, she's gonna be fine. I doubt that's gonna be it.
ああ、素敵よ、ラムダ。あんたのその向こう水で命知らずでほんのりパーなところが大好きだわ。風。
In the same instant that Lambdadelta was swallowed and Bercastel was sure of her victory, the latter felt a slight breeze playing with her hair. The countless sweets that Lambdadelta had sent flying with fireworks, and which drifted about like the decorations at the Christmas party, were flowing. No, they were converging in on a single point. It was like watching a firework run backwards. What are they, like homing missiles? Those are like the same candies from before, right? Countless sweets rapidly contracting to somewhere within the vast, closed mouth of the Leviathan. Okay. A gigantic reverse explosion gathering at a single inner point. Or perhaps it was more like countless candies showering the Leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that massive green was a black swirl. That swirl was on a palm. On the palm of Lambdadelta, who wore a defiant smile. It was a mass of super concentrated gravity? Oh, shit! She's creating a motherfucking black hole! Kudos! All the sweets, the cats, the whale, and everything else was being sucked into that one point and crunched. Yeah, I guess Lambdadelta's gravitational pull for Bercastel is quite high here. It is directly proportional with her lust for her. Like imagine the magic math that you would need to solve in order to get that black hole. All the candies Lambdadelta had scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole in her palm at unbelievable speeds. Oh, there goes the whale. The pressure of the reverse candy explosion will away at the Leviathan, crushing it inwards. With all her strength, Bercastel held her ground in midair, trying to resist its supergravity. For the first time, all trace of condescension had left her face. Yeah, it is the fourth option in rock paper scissors. Not super rock, not super paper, not super scissors, super gravity. Even Lambdadelta's cocky expression was marred by the sweat treading from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have to be instantaneous. If either were relaxed and silenced, they would match each other's strength and get dragged into another dizzyingly long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go for that again. So neither of them showed the slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. By now, the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Bercastel, the only one still holding her ground. However, a windstorm of candy asteroids, like an asteroid belt, repeatedly slammed into Bercastel, wearing away her girl form bit by bit. The next thing to fly into Bercastel's range of vision was a comet hurtling straight for her, with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it. Heck yeah! The candy comet wiped out Ben Castillo along with her scream. It burst into little bits. Then, within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. As it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all the cats and their master, it now looked like a winding, flickering emerald green galaxy that floated just above Lambdadelta's palm. Jesus freaking Christ. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing it further and further, until, at the end, it had become a single, green, shining completo. Okay. Then, it fell, down onto her outstretched palm. Huh. Well, I doubt that this is the end, but phew, that was freaking awesome. Power scaling be damned. Lambdadelta held the completo above her head and peered at it. Then she pressed the completo to her pink lips, and gave it a light kiss, and bit it down. You know, I don't really like to question what you and Ben Costello do in bed together, but like, I am damn curious. Do you girls roleplay each other into pieces of candy and bite each other like this? You witches are crazy. Lambdadelta licked her fingertips, then turned to face the empty air behind her.
知ってたわ、愛しいラムダ。
愛してるわ、ベル。
嘘よ。あんたがいつだって私に本気じゃないって知ってたわ。
じゃあ本当に愛し合いましょうよ。お互い本気で。
ああ、愛してるわ、ラムダデルタ。嬉しいわ。本当に嬉しい
わ。愛してるわ、ベルンカステル。あなたを飴玉に変えて永遠に私の舌の上で可愛がってあげる。
どちらが勝っても私たちは愛し合えるのね。それって本当に素敵だわ。それって本当に素敵。
Jesus Christ, like, the sexual tension here. It's enough to create a star.
さあ、愛し合いましょうよ。
With a crash, cracked lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. No! Then, finally, the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anything anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and a fleet of sailboats flew in one after another. They were crowded with goats, pushing each other and spilling off the sides. Yeah.
さあ、始めましょう。黄金鏡の最後の宴を。